some of us it is just a beachside game, but it is not the same with everyone. So let's get on ground with one of the ultimate players. So Stania has represented India at very different levels. Let's start with the interview. Welcome to Ardeo Originals. Yeah, this is one of the very main mottos of Ardeo Originals is that we want to bring athletes like them to make people more aware of the games which are not so much aware otherwise. So on the personal note, it is also one of my very personal intentions that I get to rub shoulders with the experiences of great athletes. So I get to know their experiences. That is a great life experience for me. So today we have one of our wonderful athletes with us, Stania Peris. Yeah. For some of us, it is just a leisure game which is played at the beach side, but it is not the case with everyone. So we are going to get on ground with one of the very professional and ultimate Frisbee players. Okay, so this is Stania Peris. Welcome, Stania Peris,
Thank you
to
so much.
Ardeo Originals. So Stania has been part of World Under 24 Ultimate Championships 2018, which happened in Perth, Australia. And she has also been part of Asia Oceanic Beach Ultimate Championships 2019, which happened in Japan. And that was the first time these people, that is the whole team, brought a bronze medal to India. So that was a very proud moment, I can say. And Stania is an international ultimate Frisbee athlete from Chikmagalur. And she is doing her part in flipping our perspective about playing Frisbee. Like, you might have heard of it as a very leisure game, but that is not something very leisure or very casual game. So they are playing it at a very different level. So let us know more about how she got involved with Frisbee and what is the scenario of Frisbee in India. So welcome, Stania, once again. And so, like, let's start with the interview. Like, I want to ask you that. You are such an ultimate Frisbee player. So do you throw trash cans like a pro, or big, like you can throw stuffs like the distance of a football field?
A little style is required in everything you see. No, just kidding. Not the trash cans though, but I do throw disc pretty far. Yes.
Great. So it feels great to have a conversation with one of the great athletes who is there on Ardeo Originals. So to begin with, like, how and when did you stumble upon this game, or how were you introduced to the game of Frisbee?
Sports for a really long time. So I started really young as a schoolgirl, but not ultimate, other sports. So I was in my final year of engineering when one of my seniors from college just came to me and said, "You are a really good athlete, why don't you try ultimate?" And I was like, "What?" He's like, "It's played with a Frisbee." And I was like, "Don't they throw it on the beach? Okay. Like, isn't it something you just do for fun?" And he was like, "No." He just sent me videos of the games, and I watched it, and I was like, "Okay, let me try this." And he was like, "Okay, 5:30 in the morning, be ready tomorrow. I'm just going to come and pick you up and take you to the ground." So that is how it started for me. But I played my first major game, like tournament, in the year 2017. It's called Bangalore Ultimate Open. It was called Bangalore Ultimate Open. It doesn't happen anymore. So there I won the most valuable player of the tournament along with a few other people. So that is when I really wanted to continue the game.
You people that Frisbee or Ultimate is not just a leisure game. Like, let us know from Stania that how do you want the viewers to know that Frisbee is not just a leisure game?
So the game is called Ultimate. The disc is called Frisbee. It is a mixed gender sport mostly, and it is a non-contact sport and a self-referred sport actually. So saying that we do not have referees, even at higher levels it is supplemented by having game observers and game advisors. So it's that involved.
When we were speaking to Stania, that we got to know that there are these situations wherein players get to decide for themselves when it is a dispute kind of thing. So tell us more about the honesty and integrity, or the sportsmanship that is involved in the ultimate.
So, Ultimate as a sport gives a lot of importance to sportsman spirit. They also call it spirit of the game, where fair play is mostly given a lot of importance. So, yeah, we do not have referees, and to supplement for that, we have game advisors and game observers who give their perspective, but at the end it is you who has to decide for yourself. So imagine there is a dispute happening between you and the person that you were defending. So it is just you guys talking and giving your perspective, and once you listen to your opponent's perspective, you can decide. And if you feel that you are wrong, you can retract the call and say, yes, I retract it. And there are a lot of hand signals that we use. So I can give you a few examples. So a foul is this. This is when you say, I don't agree with you, like I contest your call. When you want to retract your call, you can say, I retract it. So these are just some of the examples. There are a lot of other hand signals for different reasons. So, like I said, it gives a lot of importance to, sportsman spirit. To do that, you should know the rules of the game, right? So, we have two tests that every player has to take. So, a standard test is where a beginner can take, like you are just a few months or a few weeks into the game, you can just take a standard test. But an advanced accreditation is when you have been playing the game for quite some time and you want to go play the game at a higher level, you're supposed to take advanced accreditations. So there are around 50 questions, and the passing mark is 80%. So you should have an advanced certificate if you want to play international tournaments. And that certificate is valid only for 18 months. So once that is done, you'll have to take it again. So the validity is just 18 months.
This is why I said that she's going to flip your perspective about Frisbee. So it has just begun that she has started to flip your perspective. And there are so much things involved in Frisbee. Like, we had only considered it as a leisure game which was played at the beach side, but there is so much to that. Well, over the years, like how many years have I been playing Frisbee now?
So around 3.5 years, I must say.
3.5
Yes.
years. Oh yeah. So there have been, like, you might have learned a lot of techniques, and you might have also evolved your techniques to a very great level. Can you tell us about your techniques, like, and also how you evolved them?
Started playing Ultimate, I started off with a club team called Tix from Janagar. So there were a lot of senior players who helped me learn the game. The major part that comes under skills is the throwing. So when you see the disc, it's just 175 grams and it is really light. And it's very important to gauge the wind speed and the wind direction before you throw, or even how your person, like, or your teammate is running, where to throw the disc, when to throw the disc, and all of that is really important when you want to play the game. So as you play the game, you will know, and you develop a sense, a game sense actually. That comes with practice, but most of the techniques, it was my teammates that helped me. And later on, of course, the Indian team coaches, the coaching team. And right now, I play for this club team called Nash. So I have coaches and senior players and my teammates who help me. And every day is a new day and a lot of learning every day. So yes.
So you say that every day is a new layer of endurance put on the, like, whenever you practice, it is a new layer of endurance put on your previous one. Well, yes. So, like, I have read this in one of the books that, like, the more we dig deep into any of the aspects, like, the more interest and enthusiasm we get to know more about that. So, right now we are doing the same thing, that, like, we are trying to dig more and more into Frisbee, more and more into the game Ultimate. So I am very much interested, like, I am started craving to play that game. Like, we can try some shots with Stania later. And to continue, and since you are a international level player, like who is representing India, like you kind of require a very strict regime, may it be of diet or may it be of fitness. Tell us something about your strict regime, diet, may it be diet or may it be fitness.
So, Ultimate as a sport demands you to be athletically fit. It requires agility, endurance, and also decision making skills. So, of course, the physical part of it, we work out almost every day. We work on body conditioning, our agility, our endurance. And like every other sports person, even we are supposed to, maintain a diet. And according to a nutritionist, we mostly stick to protein-rich diet. Yeah, that is pretty much it. And no junk food at all. Sad for me, but yeah.
Yeah, just now we were having our breakfast in one of the cafeterias here, and she said that is her last vada for this season. Like she is going to train for the next maybe 7 or 8 months.
Yes.
So she is not going to have any of the junk food. So that is the dedication she puts into that. So that is the reason she has been at that level. When it comes to our viewers, like how do you say that it would help our viewers? Like may it be from the perspective of the mind, or may it be from the perspective of body. Like how is it going to just help, how is playing frisbee is going to just help our viewers, like even if they are not taking it so much seriously, how is it going to help?
So sports in itself is known to boost your mental and physical health, and it's nothing different for Ultimate actually. And one of the best things about Ultimate is all you need is a little space and a disc. Nothing much, like not any advanced equipment that is required. So, and the Ultimate community is actually very welcoming. So you can just go to a group of people who play Ultimate and say, hey, can I join in? And they'll be like, okay, sure, why not? And you can just go and play any day. Like you asked me, how is it going to help mental and physical health? You are definitely going to feel fresh after playing for quite some time. You're going to feel fit. Yeah.
Yeah, you told about the reason I'm taking this now is like you told about going to approaching any club and getting introduced to that club. Tell us more about the scenario of Ultimate game here in India. Like we got to know from you that there are around 20 clubs in Bangalore and there are around 33 clubs in Raumari, which is a northeastern place, and there are so many clubs across India. So tell us more about that scenario which is there in India.
We have, like you said, we do have multiple clubs in multiple cities, and we also have club championships that is happening around the year. So we have various levels of competition. So it starts off with sectionals, and then it goes to regionals, and then it goes to nationals. So the top teams from each section are picked to participate at the regionals, and the top teams from regionals are picked for the nationals. So there is nothing special you really have to do to go and register for a club. All you need to, like I said earlier, all you need to say is, hey, I want to play. And you're in, and then they will help you throughout.
Okay, so you have been part of some kick-ass national and international games, and you have known players from different continents and different countries. Like how is that experience of going outside India and representing India, and how do you prepare yourself, like even mentally, to break a leg in all those tournaments?
So, the competition there is at a crazy level, trust me, it is. So every campaign, international campaign that I have been a part of has taught me different things. Most important one is to focus on personal development. At the same time, also think about how you can contribute to the team, because it is a team sport. So as a team, once the team is picked, so for every championship, a team is picked. It's not a fixed team that goes to every single championship. Before every championship, we have selection trials happening. There are two different selection trials. One is the pre-tryouts, and the people selected from the pre-tryouts go to the final tryouts, and then the final team is picked. It is highly competitive. So yeah, once that team is picked, we'll have multiple training camps till the tournament. Yeah, and now the team is picked before 8 months. So for the next 8 months, we will have one training camp every month. So the span of the training camp is around 3 days. So where we will be trained outdoors for a game and stuff, and also indoors where we understand the rules. Of course, because of SOTG, like I said, spirit of the game. So yeah, all of that.
And yeah, as you said that it has been a great experience. Like I also want to ask you that you have known players from different continents. What have you learned by going outside of India and representing India? Like definitely that would be very different scenario other than playing in India. Like what is exactly that you have learned from being in other continents?
I am very competitive when it comes to anything actually. So when I went there for international tournaments, I have watched players who are really amazing. So it is always, very important to grow. I've learned that it is always very important to grow every single day. The learning doesn't really stop. So you might be one of the best in your country or your club team or anywhere you are playing right now, but when you go out there, you learn that you are just a really small person. You really have a greater length to go. This is just the beginning. So that is what I have learned.
So that is a very wonderful approach that you have towards the game, that I want to learn more. Like whatever the learning you have had till now, it is not enough is what you feel. So that is